Sandy Parker. Welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to do a very quick little after holiday idea for you. It's time to put away your Christmas decorations, or almost time anyway. And what I like to do at this time of year is look at the Christmas cards, and I just picked out a few for you, and decide which ones of those would work out really well for next year's tags. And what I mean by that is there's no point in just using a card up and once by taking it from the mail, reading it, and either putting it in a stash, which some people do. I'm not a keeper. I think I've told you guys I love to throw things out, so I'm not a keeper of things. But you do know that I'm a recycler of things. So what I like to do is when I find a card that has things on it that I think we'd really be able to use for next year's Christmas, I then make it into next year's tags. So with that in mind, here's one that I just, I'm going to cut off the little ender on. No, I think I'll just see if I can make that into a tag. Instead of cutting off that end, I think I'll just use that end and make that the tag part. So because this is shorter than a normal tag across, it probably won't work really well. See how the, I don't know if you can see how the edges aren't as clean as they could be, but I think it's fine. And then all you do from there is you go to the back, and you know I had it here a second ago. You take your, I'm using Archival Ink by Ranger, and I'm using an old Stampin' Up! Expired, no, what do you call that? Not expired, discontinued, that's the word. A discontinued stamp, and I put to and from on the back, and then before I put my Christmas decorations away, I just throw that in there with them, and it's ready to go for next year. There's a really cute side, keeping in mind that you can't really use something humongous like this big poinsettia, but on the other side here, there are some really nice flowers. A little bit too wide. Let me make it a little bit narrower. On the other side here, there are some really pretty flowers, and it'll make, I think, a nice little tag. So there it is. It's a big tag, but it'll work for a bigger gift. There's my to and from. Can you see that? And there you go. Isn't that slick? I like this idea because you know I love to repurpose things, and I like it when something is not really easily identifiable. Like right away, I don't think somebody's going to look at this and go, oh, well, that's somebody's old Christmas card. I don't think that anybody's going to do that. So with that in mind, you make next year's tags. You save yourself some money. You use pretty cards up a second time. This one's really going to be cute. Put a little to and from on the back of that one. To and from. And then that one's done. I really liked this card. I thought it was so gorgeous. I love this bottom part. I'm not exactly certain what part of it we're going to use, but instead of going with, I'll call it up and down, I think we're going to do this one side to side, because the sides on it, to make it, I can't explain it. I'll show it to you rather than explain it to you. Rather than use it up and down, because that Merry Christmas is so pretty and it's on the side, I'm going to cut a little bit more of this one off. Because the Merry Christmas is, would go the whole length of my tag, I think it'd be really cool. I'm just going to make these into a long section of tags, and we'll just do them all at once. And then if any of them are too long, this one I think is really pretty, but I can't decide if it's pretty that way or, oh, it's a dilemma. I think I'm going to make it a wider tag. Not that wide, that way. And like I said, the cool part about it is you're reusing things and you're repurposing, and I love repurposing. And by the way, in case you wondered, I think our little girl was thrilled with all of her Christmas bedroom things. I think you knew that I adopted this family for Christmas, and so we really don't know anything about whether she liked it or not, because we don't talk to them afterwards, but they will send us a note after the fact and tell us how much they enjoyed their Christmas, and I always like to get those notes from them. There's that one, and that one's kind of pretty. I'll show you all of them at the end. And then we'll do Merry Christmas. It's kind of wider. I'm going to make him a little narrower. Because I made it a man, him. That's weird. I don't think you normally think of a Christmas tag as a man, do you? No, well, maybe you do. I hope all of you had a nice holiday. We went to a friend's of ours. In fact, I think I did a video for a birthday card for the girl that's it's our closest couples friends, and Becky is the greatest decorator. Oh man, I would love to do a video of her home decorations. Maybe one of these years I'll ask her if she'll let us go into her home and photograph her decorations, because her decorations are just magnificent. And I think I told you, we just kind of whip things up and bada bing bada boom, they're done. And she of course takes all the time in the world and has a whole home, I don't know what you call it, village that she does, and they decorate all of their windows with garland that has fruit in it, you know, obviously plastic fruit, but oh, it was just so beautiful. And I just get such a kick out of the difference between her decorations and ours. We aren't the world's best decorators, as I said. I think I'll just shove Santa in there, even though he's a little wide. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, Santa. Sorry about that. You're just going to get shoved in there. Santa, you're a little too wide. I'm going to still have to cut a little Santa off. Darn it. Darn it, Santa. Sorry about that. And then we had a lovely dinner, and her mother is 87, and she's quite the character. Got to spend some time with her, and her son Patrick was home from LA, where he lives, and that was nice to see him. Always great to see him, and he's on the verge of becoming a really famous Hollywood writer. I've been saying this for a while because I believe so strongly in Patrick since he was a little boy. This is all he's ever wanted to do, is be a writer in Hollywood, and I just think that his time is coming, and he has some meetings with some pretty big people, and he has one script that's been accepted by somebody. So I'm thinking in the next couple of years Patrick's going to have something out there, and it's going to be impressive, and you're going to know his name. His name's Patrick Rigney. Just remember that. He's going to be famous. I believe it with every part of my being that Patrick's going to be famous. So that's those. I didn't do a bunch of them because I figured you guys would get really bored watching me do this, but did I do the to and from? No, I didn't do to and from on this one. What I'll do then is I'll show you all of the ones I've done, and I'll zoom in on them so you can see them really close up. Hopefully. That's, ooh, okay, that's that one. Of course I'm going to put little strings on them. You know how I love my ribbon. This Santa's upside down. You'll just have to ignore Santa. He's had his moment. He's tired now, and he's upside down. He's seen enough. And then since I'm putting all the tag parts, the open parts of the tag at the top, you probably just saw my head really well. I'm glad I showed you that. And then I'll show you these two really quickly. I can hear my camera trying to zoom in on this, going, oh my gosh, what's she doing? It's crazy. I can't keep up with her. I don't think my camera's really saying anything, but if it was, I'm going to move those back and see if I can zoom the camera back so you can see them all in their glory. I think they came out cute, and again, if I was going to be repurposing things, I would certainly think that this is a good idea. Move them back just a little bit more so I can zoom a little bit more on them and you can see all of them up close. I think they look really cute. I hope you like them, and I hope you will give this video a thumbs up, and I think if you repurpose your Christmas cards next year, I think it'll be great for everybody. It's much better for the environment if we do things like this. There, it's even closer. There are two more things I wanted to tell you about that I completely forgot to mention, and that is, let's say that you don't have one of these that will punch the top into a tag topper. Well, that's easy enough to fix. All you're going to do, I'll try and do it. Oh, the other thing I was going to also tell you was use the insides of your cards too, and we'll embellish this a little bit, but the way you do it is you take one corner and you cut it off, and then you hold that piece up to the other side. Oh, geez, you know how my hands are as coordinated as anything. I'm going to have to, sorry, make this so that you can see it. Okay, hopefully you can see that. What you do is you use it as a template for the other side of your card, and then you're going to hopefully snip it like that. Then you're going to take, in my words, your pokey tool, and you're going to poke it somewhere in the center and then pull up on it so that you have a hole. Then what I do is I take my cord or string or whatever I use, and I run it through that hole. I'm going to snip off, whoops, I'm going to snip off the back a little bit so that I have a bigger hole to work with. There. Then what you do is you push your, I'm going to do ribbon because ribbon will be easier for you guys to see me do, and also easier for me to do. What I do then is I take my ribbon, I fold it in half, I take my scissors, and then I put my ribbon up against the back of the hole, and I push it through enough so you can hopefully see that I can grab onto it. Then I pull it through, and then once I've pulled it through, I hold on to the back, and then I have a loop on the front. I pull it through the loop, and we've made that part of our tag. Then let's say that this one we're going to embellish with a little brad. Take your pokey tool again, put a little hole in it. Our brad is a little snowflake. You're going to take your snowflake, push it through, and flatten it out like that, and you've made another really cute little tag. Our last tag, we're going to do same concept. This time we're going to do it with, this time I'm going to eyeball it. Oh, I know, you're scared by that idea. And then we're going to use our pokey tool, poke it through, make it big enough. And I decided I'd use that cord, and I'm not sure about if I can get it through because it is pretty wide, but we're going to give this a shot. Wide, thick, whatever you want to call that. We'll see if we can get it through that hole. Maybe I'll just do it off screen, sorry. You know how it is sometimes with things I can't do unless I have them in my lap. I'm sure some of you are the same way, that it's easiest if you can get it, if you can hold on to things in your lap instead of on the surface, so you're closer to your object. All I did with this one, I'm going to just tie it because it's it expands. It makes it a little bit tricky to do that other way of doing it. So I'm going to just knot it like that. I have enough room if I wanted to make a bow. I could make a bow on it. I'm going to go like that. And then we're going to do the same. I could have done stamps. I could have done, I mean, you name it. You can do just about anything when you're creating these, but why limit yourself to the outside of the card when the inside has really lovely sentiments on it? And as long as they don't have anything on the back, like this one does say courtesy of Advocate Art, it doesn't bother me that it says that. I'm just going to stamp my to from, and we're done with that one. So that is, in a nutshell, how I repurpose Christmas cards to use next year, and I do it at this time of year because this is the time of year that I'm going to be putting away all of my wrapping paper and all of my Christmas decorations. So it makes it so that I can basically get a start on next year's without paying really anything for it. We've got all kinds of really cute ideas, but they weren't our cards, so they weren't our ideas, and I think that's kind of neat too, because maybe next year the person that gave you the card this year is going to end up with a present that has their card in it, and I bet you they'll never even know. So thanks again for watching. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and hopefully the next tutorial will be something that'll be really thrilling. Oh, it's the basket. I made a basket out of a doily, and I'm just doing the finishing touches on it. So I hope you look forward to that. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.